Hola, mio nome, Miss Denisha Moria, and today we will be talking about Brazil. Official name, the Federal Republic of Brazil. Capital, Brasilia. Location, now Brazil is located in South America and it is the fifth largest nation in the entire world. It is located in the Central Eastern South America and it shares borders with a few countries and it is a neighbor to few, especially my country, Guyana. Known as one of South America's most industrious nations, Brazil produces crops, but not just crops, chemicals, aircraft, and cars. Brazil, like my country, Guyana, also does mining. They focus mainly on coal, bauxite, diamond, iron, coal, and a few other minerals. One of the most major natural resources of Brazil is petroleum. Not to mention, Brazil is the 12th most, or I should say, largest, one of the 12th most largest producers of the great oil. And like many other countries, Brazil also export. They also import, but their main exports are sugarcane, latex, coffee, cocoa beans, cotton, soybeans, rice, crude oil, iron, and tropical fruits. In a nutshell, we can safely say that Brazil is doing rather well. And it's a country that has a force to be reckoned with. What I love most about the country of Brazil is a Christ the Redeemer statue, which was created by a French sculptor, and I can truly say it is a sight to behold.
What are some other languages spoken in Brazil other than Portuguese? Now, Portuguese is the official language as well as the most widely spoken language in Brazil. Some other languages spoken in Brazil other than Portuguese are German. Despite the fact that German speakers account for only about 1.9% of the population, it is the second most commonly reported language in Brazil, due to the large number of German immigrants who have kept the language alive over time. Secondly, we have English. In Brazil, English is frequently taught as a second language in schools, and many Brazilians also take private English lessons. English is frequent in the country's big cities, and most persons who speak a second language speak English according to estimate. Thirdly, we have the indigenous languages. The indigenous languages predate European colonization. Many of these languages have preserved over the years and continue to be used to this day, including Ticuna, Kaingang, and Kaiwa Guarani. As a nature lover, what interests me most about Brazil is its natural beauty. Its beautiful, breathtaking landscapes, birds and animals, Amazon River basin, the impenetrable rainforest, clean white sand beaches, the Iguacu Falls, and many other more that just relaxes the mind by simply looking or being there. You will experience less stress and more motivation when you're surrounded by plants, water, and other natural beautiful elements. Nature helps to reduce anger, fear, stress, and increase a pleasant feeling. In my opinion, Brazil is one of the most beautiful countries in the world.
Good day, everyone. My task today is to give a brief discussion on Brazil, the head of state, and the system of government. Just like every other country, Brazil's head of state or president is His Excellency Jair Bolsonaro. The system of government. The political administration of Brazil comprises the federal government and is divided into independent branches. The federal government exercises control over the central government. Executive power is exercised by the president, advised by a cabinet. Legislative power is vested upon the National Congress, a two-chamber legislature comprising the Federal Senate and the Chamber of Deputies. The power is exercised by the judiciary, consisting of the Supreme Federal Court, the Superior Court of Justice, and other superior courts, the National Justice Council, and the regional federal courts. The Brazilian national government is referred to as the federal government of Brazil. It is divided into three branches: the executive, overseen by the president and the cabinet; the legislative, with powers bestowed by the National Congress; and the judiciary, empowered by the Supreme Federal Court. The government is based in the capital city, Brasilia. The government is based on a democratic federal republic and features a presidential system. The president is head of state and the government, and like the United States, is elected for a 4-year term with the possibility of a re-election for a second term. The president is responsible for appointing the ministers of state. The Federative Republic of Brazil is made up of the Union, the states, the federal district, and the municipalities. These collectively make up the spheres of government. The Brazilian Federation is informed by 5 fundamental principles: sovereignty, citizenship, dignity of human beings, the social values of labor, and freedom of enterprise, and political pluralism. Members of the executive and legislative branches of government are elected, whereas judges are appointed through entry exams. Brazil has a multi-party system using proportional representation. Voting is compulsory for everyone between 18 and 70 years old. It is optional for those who are illiterate and those between 16 and 18 or beyond 70 years of age. Brazil is one of the most beautiful countries that you can visit on your vacation or on your break. Why? Brazil have the most beautiful, famous beaches in the world. The carnivals as well, it's one to talk about. It's the most festive event in the world. The Rio Carnival is the largest carnival celebrated according to the Guinness Book of Records. Most importantly, the nature in Brazil is one to talk about. Brazil has the most huge areas with the most popular sites in the world.
The national dish of Brazil is feijoada. The word feijoada comes from the word feijoa, which is Portuguese for beans. Feijoada is a black bean stew that is brewed with a variety of salted and smoked pork and beef products, from carne seca to smoked pork. The more traditional feijoada also includes cheaper cuts, such as pig's ears, feet, tails, and beef tongue. The rich, smoky stew is then served with rice, sauteed collard greens or kale, orange slices, and topped with toast cassava flour, fafora. The meal is just as warm, comforting, rich, and vibrant as the music, people, and culture of Brazil. Brazil's national dance is samba. Samba, the ballroom dance of Brazilian origin, popularized in Western Europe
and the United States in the early 1940s, characterized by simple forward and backward steps and tilting, rocking body movements. It is danced to music in 4x4 time with syncopated rhythm. Couples in ballroom position dance in place or around the floor, but partners may separate to execute variant steps. The dance derives mainly from the maxi, a dance fashioned in about 1970-1914. The lifestyle of Brazilians. From the Amazon rainforest to the beautiful eastern shores, Brazil's regions and people are varied as the country's terrain, with a broad mix of ethnicities including German, Italian, African, Japanese, and indigenous groups. Each culture has had a significant influence over the years, building and welcoming diverse national culture. What interests me the most about Brazil is its sports culture. Sports in Brazil are those that are widely practiced and popular in the country, as well as others that are originated from the country and have some sort of cultural significance. Brazilians are heavily involved in sports. Football is the most popular sport in Brazil. Other than football, sports like volleyball, mixed martial arts, basketball, tennis, Formula One enjoy high levels of popularity. The national Brazil football team has won 5 FIFA games. 5. They have also hosted a World Cup. Brazil is the only South American country to hold a World Cup. More than that, some of the most established football players in the world come from Brazil. All of the prominent football players in the national team are very prominent in the football world. For example, Pelé, Ronaldinho, Romario, Zico, who are historical legends in football. Neymar, who is also transcending the football economy. There are so many other young football players that have come up and that have continuously represented Brazil and the rich culture of sports that comes from it, like Philip Coutinho, Thiago Silva, and Gabriel Jesus. More than football, Brazil has a rich culture of rounded sports. Brazil is the most successful country in volleyball. It's the most successful country in volleyball. Brazil's women's volleyball team has continuously thrived at being successful. Brazil has a rich culture surrounding foot volley, that is football and volleyball mixed together. Rich culture surrounding capoeira, that is martial arts and dance mixed together. There's boxing, jiu-jitsu, and a whole list of sports that comes from the rich culture of sports that is Brazil. Do you know Brazil is rich in a variety of natural resources and is the world leading producer of tin, iron ore, and phosphate. It also has a large deposit of diamond, which is used to make a wide variety of jewelry and is also known to be very expensive. You also have manganese, chromium. Chromium is also used to harden steel, to manufacture stainless steel, and to produce several alloys. You also have copper, bauxite, and many others. Brazil's main resources are mining, which is of major importance to the Brazilian economy, contributing to the Brazilian GDP with an estimated gross value of US dollars. You also have the hydropower, which Brazil relies on largely for electricity. And in order for work to be done mostly in the night, you need electricity.
and most appliances rely on electricity to carry out their day-to-day work. You also have petroleum.
Some major agricultural products in Brazil are coffee, which everyone enjoy, especially in the morning. You have sugar, soybeans, manioc, rice, maize, cotton, edible beans, and you also have wheat. Brazil is the largest producer of sugar and coffee. Petroleum is also the most common natural resource in Brazil.